Oh, come on. Can't see anything. Gotta re-log in now. Let me check what's happening on the live. I'm not even logged in there yet. Good morning. Was starting to worry about you. Yeah. Yeah, 2 days in a row. It's not good. Every time my wife comes home, I have to. I don't know if she's working at night. For some reason I can't go to sleep without her there. I don't know how cheesy that sounds, but it is. So, oh, make sure all the sound is good. For some reason, the sound wasn't really working yesterday, and my mic is just being weird. I like everything is kind of messing up. First, I had to shut down my computer, so I was up pretty early. I just had to shut down my computer and do a lot of stuff. And I actually didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to stream today, and I was going to give you guys an update on Twitter, but didn't want to make any promises, so I didn't do that. I didn't want to have anybody just waiting around for me. But yeah, I appreciate the people that are here. Sounds good. Okay, perfect. I thought you set your alarm PM instead of AM. No, I was up a little bit later than usual. I didn't wake up at 4 in the morning. I woke up at 6, so I was ready to go. I just had trouble with the computer and everything like that, and I had to reboot it and technology issues. But yeah, I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to get on. So it's good that everything sounds good, though. We are positive today after gapping down. It did suck, I guess, seeing that at 4 in the morning, and it would have been great to be able to have that somewhere around 5 just to talk about this. We are starting to see it move up, though. We're starting to see it, create that upward movement, creating higher highs, higher lows. Seeing this large bit of movement here. I would imagine that's around 701. That's where you would see most of the movement, and then you're going to see a lot when it gets to 801 as well. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see, where are my thumbnails? Where the, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I'll just use that one. Well, good morning. Good morning, everybody. All I know is it's getting harder and harder to do these, streams consistently with, like so little viewers. I mean, it's like you're spending 2 hours to get like pennies when you could just upload a video. Like it's not good. It's making me want to go towards like streaming only for an hour, because it's not really worth it to stream for 2 or 3 hours because nobody comes through. So it's like, I understand there's people here, but it's just a waste of time in the morning. Let's all have a good day today. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Today is the day. Hopefully, we see some really good movement today. Um, I definitely could say we see. I mean, every time we have some sort of movement up to 40, 41, close to it, it's just not really something to where they like to keep us at those levels, especially with us, having options, call options, all that stuff. Oh man, what's your golf handicap now? No lying. Now, I don't know. At my best, it was single digits, but I now it's probably like 20, maybe. I don't know. Some days I have really good days. Like I've had days where I've had 4 birdies in a row, and had a bunch of pars. And it depends what type of golf course it is. But if you're talking about my I haven't ever done my official handicap, calculating that all together. Let's see. Don't leave us, Matt. I don't want to. I want to be here for the long haul, and this is why you've seen people like Brian Jung stop doing AMC live streams, because he was getting lower and lower viewers. Um, it doesn't make sense to do it for 8 hours if you're going to get less viewers. I mean, it's just like business 101. I don't mean to sit here and be like, oh well, it's all about the money. It's just about time for me, especially for me, because I have a 9 to 5. Other people don't have a 9 to 5. I have children. I have 4 YouTube channels that I could contribute to and end up bringing something to my business. But if it's just going to be like pennies, I understand, I appreciate everybody that's here, and you guys are really, you're always here every morning, and I try my best to, stay as positive as possible. Yeah, I just want to be here live with you guys to answer your questions, because sometimes it's hard for me to even get to comments. So to get to live streams and be able to do it live is a lot easier than going in and spending time, answering comments, because I may be playing with the kids at the time. I'm not paying attention to them, all that stuff. How do you like the AMP surge? I really like AMP. How that did make a move. I did see crypto, kind of fell back a little bit last night, and I was a little upset about that. But whenever you see a massive increase like that, you're going to see a decrease as well. Bitcoin's down to 37,000, Ethereum's down to 2,200, $2,245. You have Cardano that's down to $1.28. Dogecoin that's down to 20 cents after being up to 23 cents, I think. So that was pretty big. Let's see, Ethereum Classic is down to $48. Internet Computers down to 40. AMP is back down to 6 cents, but was at 7 cents yesterday. It was good to be able to see that. I have 5,000 coins, and I'm looking for that to increase to higher and higher numbers for things like Anchor. I'm looking for Anchor to move, but I haven't really seen too much movement with that. Compound is pulling back, which is a good deal, because if I see Compound move, actually look at this. If I see Compound come back, then I'm going to keep buying more of that, because I do believe in Compound getting to higher and higher numbers. I'll tell you that. Let's see, anything else? I do have storage, but I don't have a lot of it. But there are a lot of currencies out here. I have a lot of Gitcoin. Gitcoin has pulled back, and I want to buy more as time goes on. But we'll leave it at that. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I don't even know what my account looks like. Has dropped down a little bit from where it was at its peak of 8,465. Has dropped down, but this is what you want to see. You want to see those dips in your price action, because what's going to happen is you're going to buy those dips, and then you continue to ride it on the way up as it does increase. So I'm buying more ICP. I'm buying more AMP. I'm buying more Gitcoin, whatever it actually is. So it's a good thing. I should bring up Vortex. I don't know if Vortex is updated. Let me also bring up Fintel as well, see what they did yesterday, just on a FINRA scale. Yesterday was the 26th. It looks like FINRA short volume is around 23.9 million short volume yesterday out of the total, what was it, 90 million or so. They don't really have the CBOE short volume yet. But if we look at previous days, we had 21.1. It looks like they're back down to shorting about 20 plus % as a whole. So that's interesting. What's crazy is when you just look at the FINRA short volume ratio, you're seeing 56.1 million total FINRA volume, and then 21.1 million FINRA short volume. So that's 37.7. Are we saying that the total volume we're going to see around, I would like to look at it as, yes, they're shorting a consistent amount across the board. So probably 37.7 across the board, which is really high. So yeah, but we look at the estimated short interest, we're looking at 76.73 million, which is 14.93%. I feel you, bro. AMC gonna run, gonna get more viewers. People can be front runners. Yeah, I'm here, waiting for this to make a huge move, and I want to be able to make this a community. And that's what I was thinking that I was going to do, make it a community where we have, like right now we have 700 members. So I was thinking at least you would have 700 people that want to, stop by. I understand they won't stop by every morning, but you would have 700 people that do stop by and, watch the stream and converse and all of that. And that's all we really need. Is I wanted to make it members only with just the 700 members. And if people wanted to join, they can continue to join. And then, we can create this community every single morning to where we look at watch lists. We break down what's the next thing we can get into, all of that stuff. So besides like different swing trades, I want to be able to have those, or that little bit of cash to be able to, day trade, so that we can consistently create watch lists every single morning as a group to bring up different positions and why you think it's the best position we can get into. And then I'll bring up some positions. We can complete our full watch list, then narrow it down to about a couple of stocks to where we can invest in those stocks. So that's what I'm looking to do. But it's just not working out that way because, you'll get like, I don't know, 300, 400 viewers, which is still cool. I'm okay with that. But, whatever. We'll work it out. Tesla had good earnings. Seems to be no one cared. Yeah, no one. I guess they expected it, but still, no one did care because most people care about the big things that are going on. We got 156 people watching. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate all of you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It does help out the channel quite a bit. Let me see. Right now, AMC is sitting at $40.52. It's up 0.57%. There's volume of 71,000 in Webull, and it's probably a lot higher for Fidelity, or overall, basically. Okay, that sounds great. Pinned by Matthew Perry? Why? That's not pinned by Matthew Perry. Good morning from the UK. Good morning. Good morning, George. Can you add FTD to your Vortex? Add failure to delivers to the Vortex data. That only gives you information from back from June 30th. Oh no, that's failure to delivers. Oh, that's days to cover. Keep being you, keep being honest, but take care of you first. Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Good morning. Hope all is well, Matt. Thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, thank you for being here. The next gym you can get into is, you didn't say that, Lorraine. Lorraine? Lorraine? I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up. You're the one I watch first thing in the morning when I wake up till you switch to members only. Oh, you watch me until I switch to members only. Yeah, I mean, I do it to create a community and to get rid of the FUD. Literally, I'd see a person named pinned by Matthew Perry, which is usually the spam that comes up. Stock market jumpy. I miss trading. I miss day trading, so ready for this squeeze to be over and done with. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do miss day trading because it was a consistent way to, make 100, make 200, make $1,000 in a day, versus, holding on to a position for a long period of time. Like all these positions that I'm holding on to go against any of my strategy. My strategy is always to limit risk. So why would I take on as much risk as letting it get to being down $2,000 or $1,000 and be comfortable with it? Why? Because it has that full ability to get to being up $7,000. But to tell you the truth, it's not something that I'm really looking for, to have that go all the way up to $7,000. For ZOM, yes. ZOM, I'm looking for that to increase quite a bit. Every dollar that goes up, I gain $7,000. Every dollar that SOS goes up, I gain $2,000. So I know that there's the ability to gain a lot more. However, I did, settle for what I have and let it get down to these levels. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is why I go to members only. Do you see this message that comes up? Like you can delete them. You can do whatever you want. This is ridiculous. It's not pinned by Matthew Perry. That's the stuff that comes up on my regular comments. And that's the whole reason why I do members only and not just subscribers only, is because people subscribe, bots subscribe, and then they do that. Like that's what I mean. It's a little ridiculous. And then when you get to more and more viewers, that's what happens. Morning, Matthew, from warm and sunny South Africa. Currently trading Euro USD, and still early days. Appears games have slowed down and stopped. Good morning. I appreciate you, Matt. So that you don't run your content off super chats. Myself, too cheap to pay anything to YouTube. Instead of use that money to buy AMC stock. Wish more YouTubers were like you. Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, no matter what, it's a business. We are seeing we're seeing a jump now. We're seeing it jump up to $40.93. We're up 1.5%, 1.4% here. Switches back and forth 1.9%. Let's see if we can break 41. That would be amazing. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's a lot of people that just, accept the super chats. Like I never really cared about the super chats. I mean, now it's getting to a point where it's like, all right, well, I'm not getting enough viewers. So super chats are like the only way to get back to normalcy. But I still would rather have someone join as a member than give me, a super chat, whatever. If you give me like $5, then you could have been a member for 5 months, That's the way that I look at it. You should ignore it and just delete it. 3,700 shares of AMC. Keep a few moon tickets. If AMC could hurry up a moon, that would be great. You sound like that guy from Office Space? That'd be great. Good morning, Florida. Here is SafeMoon legit. I'm seeing its logo in the real world. Is it legit? It's definitely a cryptocurrency, but is it like does it have a clear use case? Does it have usability to it? I don't think so. I think it's more of another like cash grab type of thing, which is okay, but it just depends when you got in and how long you hold on to it for. It's one of those cryptocurrencies that has a burn rate, and the longer that you hold on, the more that price has a potential to increase a lot more. So I said more twice there, and it was kind of weird. But yeah, that I think it's okay. I don't think it's the best cryptocurrency possible. I have 28 million coins, and I'm just letting it sit there. And as it does get burned off, which I haven't checked the burn, how much burned off in the last month or so. But once you do get a certain amount that burns off, which is going down to certain trillions, because right now it's at 500 plus trillion. So if it gets down to about 25 trillion, that gives you the ability to hold on to that position and grow. Have basically cash in hand. So for me, if it gets to a point where it's 1 penny, I'll gain about $300,000 from it. So that's okay, especially only investing $200. But it's one of those cryptocurrencies that you let sit there. What's going to be the use case for your coin? Even Doge can be used for transactions. I don't know yet, because I don't want to make it a transaction based currency, because if you make it a transaction based currency, you need more coins. A lot of times you're going to need like close to billions or trillions of coins in order to make it something that's usable for each transaction. If it's something that's very difficult, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. I still don't have any person that can help with developing it. And especially since I can't really reach too many people, because, we have 200 concurrent viewers. But yeah, I mean, eventually I think we'll get to a point, but we'll get to a point to where we break that down. But right now I don't have a use case for it. I know it's really just going to be, it's going to be tied to the movement. I know that. So obviously buy the dip is more of like, if you support buying the dip, then you support buying the coin, and it's going to be more of just a thing that we hold. And I don't know what we can get from this, if people can basically buy it and only can sell like 5% or 1% of the coin if they wanted to. I don't really know, but we're going to have something to where it makes sense to hold it. Trading platforms. Which trading platforms do you prefer and or recommend, and which do you like the least? I would say that one of the trading platforms that I like the least, just by the fact that it doesn't really have the best customer service, obviously, is Robinhood, and it has issues with them every time we have some sort of increase in volatility and all that stuff. Robinhood's not great. I would say First Trade is not really the best from when I used it. I don't know if they updated anything. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm not going to say that it's the worst, but it was the worst from when I looked at it. I would say some of the best are Fidelity. Fidelity is great for long-term investing or short-term investing, whatever you really wanted, because it has everything you possibly could need. It's just not as user-friendly when it comes to the downloadable interface. Webull is amazing because it's everything works together. So if you click on AMC, everything updates. You click on Amazon, everything updates. There's just so much that updates right away. And it's just so easy to use. So I like it. Some people just don't like it. I wouldn't say it's like the best for keeping track of your long-term portfolio, but it is a good platform. TD Ameritrade is great. I haven't used Charles Schwab, so I can't say that it's good, but people do like it. So that's what I would go with is Fidelity, Webull, TD Ameritrade. I think that's it. Some people like interactive brokers, but I'm not really a fan of that. I've used it. I don't really like it that much. I could have made stupid money. I could have made stupid money in crypto this week. I have myself trapped in AMC instead. See, yeah, that's not the way we look at it. AMC obviously has that potential, and it's something to where they're looking to push whatever narrative they push, right? And yes, you can make a lot of money in crypto. I could have made a lot of money in crypto, and I still think I'm going to make a lot of money in crypto. This is one of those periods to where you buy as much as you can. Any other money that comes in, yes, you can buy some AMC if you wanted to, but I would say that you can buy other things that are going to be long-term investments or other short-term investments. Like right now, I could have been day trading a lot of different positions and getting in and out of other things. Because right now, if I look at my account, I don't even know what my account is, but if I look at my account, and we have a bunch of things that are negative here. My AMC calls are negative, right? I just got 2 free stocks. I'm gonna have to get out of those and put that money into something else. Sorry, but if you look at my account, there's other positions that I can make from swing trades. Like I could make easy money from swing trades, whether it's $100, $200, $900, whatever it is. Ever since I restarted my account, obviously all of my history of, day trading went away. But still, you're looking at certain things. Like right now, in the last month, I'm down $16,000 just holding everything. But we know the full potential. I'm down $16,000 from the peak. How far am I up? Year to date, I'm up quite a bit year to date. I'm up 19,000 year to date. So it's not even an issue if it does look like, oh, you're down 16,000 a month, but you're down 19,000 or you're up 19,000 year to date. So I'm okay with that. But then when I look into other things, I look into Dogecoin and all the other positions that I'm in, you look at the full P&L, the unrealized P&L. Yes, it's unrealized, so you don't lose it until you sell. But you look at this and it's unrealized, and you're basically saying, let's see. So Medicom down $2,000, SOS down $2,000, GameStop down $700, Dogecoin down $1,000. So there's a lot of positions that I'm actually down on. Obviously, we know they'll come back. Hopefully the call options, pan out, because that would be amazing to be able to have that cash work with me. One's for December, so it's for $145 in December. So I hope that we hit those levels by December. That would be amazing. But other ones are by August 21st. Sorry, August 20th and August 6th. So this one's coming up, and we need to make some big moves, and that's for $65. So I want to make some big moves before then, way before then. So we'll see how that plays out. So Yeah, I mean, it's good to be able to see those gains, and it's the way that we look at it is like, oh, I could have been putting so much money into AMC, but you can put money elsewhere if you want to. What we're saying is that it's always great to hold something that has a lot of potential. You know, Matt Ball, and I want to be like Matt when I grow up. Well, thank you for saying that. 55, 56K almost. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot higher before then. It was up to like 80 something, 86. At the peak, it was a lot higher. But I did take some out of other positive positions to put into crypto, and I have about $8,000 into crypto. I think, yeah, I think it's $8,000. It might be like seven right now. I have about seven, yeah, 7K in crypto. Look at my portfolio. I have $2,000 in internet computer, $1,000 in Litecoin, $800 in compound, which I plan on buying more. Anchor, I have 766. Gitcoin, I have 744. So I have 10,000 shares or 10,000 coins of Anchor, 100 coins of Gitcoin, 14 of Ethereum, 500 of Cardano, which I want to increase more. If you haven't seen, Amazon's literally calling out Cardano as a form of currency, which is huge. That's definitely showing me that Cardano can be a lot higher. We see AMP at 5,000 coins, which I want to add to that. So there's a lot of things there. Good morning, Matt. What's your exit strategy for these platforms? Ameritrade only allows 3x price. Fidelity has the limits, and how do we exit correctly? What's your exit strategy? What do you mean it only allows 3x the price? You should be able to pull out of your full position. So my exit strategy in the position, which that doesn't really make sense because I've you pull out of things that go higher than that. That would be crazy if they only let you pull out 3x the price, which I haven't heard of. My exit strategy, and I talked about it constantly, and I do videos on it. It's just taking little bits and pieces on the way up. I don't want to take the max amount. I know that if I have $900 and it gets to $10,000, that I'll gain quick math. I'll gain $9 million. I think that's it. Yeah, I'll gain $9 million, right? Yeah, I don't know if he means that. But yeah, I'll gain $9 million. My exit strategy is always to look for the lesser amount. I don't care about gaining $9 million. If I can gain 1 million or 2 million after taxes, then I'm fine. So that's what I'm looking to gain. If I know that the potential is a lot higher than that, like I can go up to $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, then yeah, I know the potential is higher than that. But I'm looking for something lesser than that. I can gain a couple $1,000,000, then put those millions of dollars into other trades after the fact would be really, really good. So again, if I give me a second, if I look into for some reason I'm thinking about crypto now. So I look into my AMC strategy. It's really just like, oh, at $400, $500, maybe I'll sell 20 shares, 100 shares, something like that. If it pulls back, then put 20 shares back in there at a lower price, be able to pocket some of that cash there. But then ultimately, when I have it at the high point and say $10,000, I'll probably only have maybe 400 or 500 shares at where I believe my last price will be. But then when it comes to seeing the full potential of it, so what I'll do is I'll leave probably, I don't know, 10, 20 shares left in there, maybe 50 shares, and let that ride it out. And if it does go to 100K, then obviously that's a huge gain, and what I can get out of it will be massive. And yes, what I could have gotten out of it with 100 or 1,000 shares would have been a lot more, but I don't care about that. Getting to 100K and holding 50 shares is huge, right? And I don't know if it will get to 100K. It has a possibility, but everything has to really go perfect. But it would be huge to be able to see that, because that would be what, $5 million just from holding 50 shares. And then you'll be able to see that full strategy. And yes, the possibility would be endless if I had 900 shares, but that's not the way you think. You can't be greedy, because when it starts to get up to the top, people start to get, really greedy with holding on. You have to be fearful when other people are greedy. And you have to be greedy when other people are fearful. So like that's how it goes. So that's how my strategy works, but I don't really know. I'm not really going to give you the exact prices to where I'm going to pull out from. I have to see resistances and all that stuff, and then you'll see that I will make that move. But I don't ever trade live, which I probably should do. If I was thinking about doing it, I probably might do it on Twitch. But we'll see. Because I do have a 9 to 5. I can't stream during the day. I would have streamed yesterday while Charles Payne was talking to Matt Kors, but I didn't, because of the fact that I have a 9 to 5. I can't sit here and, stream while I'm working. That's obviously not, one, a good look for me as an employee, and two, a good look for the business, because I'm not doing my work. Like, I can listen to it, I can watch it while I'm still working, but I can't react to it. So I could have potentially put it up on the screen and not did any type of reaction to it, and then eventually do a reaction to it. But I feel like that wouldn't have been worthwhile. You let me know if that's worthwhile. Anytime we see some sort of interview, I can stream that, but not actually react to it until later, if that's what you want. Because I can stream it on this channel and then react to it on my reaction channel, which, if you want to follow, it's pinned to the chat. I like that you're willing to show your positions, and transparency is refreshing. I'm sure doing it isn't always a positive experience for you. No, it's not. It's not. I'll tell you, I don't like to keep my positions up, but I will show them. It's not a positive experience for me, because it's you can look at it and people can say, oh, well, you're losing a bunch of money here. You know what I mean? And okay, I mean, yes, I am, but you see how comfortable I am with it. So I'm not a person that normally will put this much risk into it. So anytime I see risk, I'm always doing that, like risk reward. I'm always looking at my profit to loss ratio and breaking that down. But I'm not doing that for these swing trades, because they're based on AMC squeezing. Do I know anything about IDEX? I don't. I've heard it multiple times, but no, I don't. We'll start my day making a cup of coffee, feeding the dogs, and watching Matt Perry morning show. I'm starting to begin investing in crypto. That's awesome. That's awesome. To tell you the truth, like, there's a lot of things that I got out of doing these live streams that I would have never gotten into, and it was to a lot of people that come through and say, hey, you should get into crypto and look into it a little bit more. And just hearing it like 3 or 4 times just makes me think like, oh, well, maybe it's not as volatile as I thought it was. And get into it, try something new, see if it's worthwhile. And you see the potential in crypto, not really looking at any type of use case for anything, because I could say most crypto, let's say 90-something% of crypto, just doesn't have a strong use case, right? You can talk about Bitcoin, you can talk about Ethereum, but you're looking at 90% and they don't really have a strong use case. Amazon calls for Cardano. I thought they were just considering crypto. No, they're looking to actually accept crypto as a form of currency. So they're going to be accepting Bitcoin a lot sooner than we think. They said by the end of 2021. So it could be soon. It could be at the end of 2021. It could be in the next couple of months, but then they also name dropped Ethereum, name dropped Cardano, some other smaller cryptocurrencies that they're going to be looking to get into probably somewhere around 2022. And they're going to develop their own currency as well, from what I understand. So it's going to be pretty big. And yeah, I'm definitely getting into that Amazon cryptocurrency. There's no way that I'm not. Amazon, wait, sorry. Yes, he tweeted the Ortex data update increase across the board. Yeah, so we're looking at 14.93% short interest of free float, 76.37 million short shares. I still don't believe these numbers. They have to be a lot higher. This estimated short interest just doesn't make sense to me. It has to be a lot higher. There's no way that they let up on the amount of shorts that they have. We know that this was consistently around, from what we've seen, 20%. But I believe it's a lot higher than that if we look at stuff that we're not seeing, you know? I'm going to bail when it hits. Wait. When it hits where GameStop hits. So when it hits 500, that's where you're going to get out. It's comfortable wherever you feel. I do believe in certain positions. If I see it get up to those levels and then pull all the way back, and I actually made those moves to where, you know, I got out of the position higher and higher, then yeah, I mean, it's going to pull back. I'm going to get back in it, basically have more shares for less money, and we'll be fine. Did you say you do a giveaway for subs? $1 of Ethereum? No, I didn't say I do that. I said I was thinking about doing something with my cryptocurrency whenever it's created, as in like give away some to members. Only members that have been members for a while. Because some people have been members for a long time. So I appreciate you guys. Why do you think GameStop still is at the level? It's still more potential. Why do I think GameStop is at the level that it is? Right now, it's really playing catch up. They're doing the same thing that they're doing to AMC. AMC is being held down. GME is being held down. We understand the potential of where AMC and GME can get to. And AMC is playing catch up here. You know, they're catching up to what GME has been doing. GME was already on the verge of squeezing, while AMC just had a massive increase based on the shorts that were out there. I'm really struggling right now. Jeez. But that's where I'm thinking. They're playing catch up. It's not anything to do with GME's potential versus AMC's potential. I think AMC, just with the amount of people that are behind it, that are holding the position, it just has a little bit more potential to go higher, even though GME has less shares available, or less of a free float. All right, I think that's good. I just needed to cough a lot. After the squeeze, are you going to cover more long-term moves? I will cover long-term moves because I do like to cover ETF positions, dividend positions, because my Roth IRA is pretty big as well, and I just let that sit there and, you know, gain money in the Fidelity Fund and all of that stuff. So it's not something to where I shy away from. Like, I don't really like to talk about long-term investing a lot because it's pretty standard for me. It's dividend positions, ETFs, different mutual funds, and then I run through that. So that's my long-term positions. It's not really working into growth positions, because I could care less about those growth positions. I'm looking into those growth positions as positions that I can get into for swing trades rather than a long-term investment. If that grows, let's say you invest into something that's $100, and over, I don't know, 4 years that grows to $400. Well, you just 4x your money, right? Okay, great. You 4x your money. You had $10,000 invested into that position. You grew it to $40,000. Now in 4 years, you're telling me you couldn't turn that $10,000 into $40,000 by just swing trading or day trading? Yes, you could. So if you have solid swing trades that you limit the risk on and you can actually gain a max potential from, it could be a lot bigger, you know? So this is where I start to think, and I'm like, those growth potentials don't make sense unless they have a dividend tied to them, you know? So if something does have a dividend, like let's say Microsoft, it has a dividend, I would invest into it, let it sit there, put $10,000 into it, and just let it grow, because it's growing with the growth. It's also growing with the dividend, and we'll be fine. That's what I'm looking for. Now, you do have those situations to where you have a dividend that, you know, gets dropped or gets cut, like let's say Ford, and you put a lot of money into it as a dividend position. Now you have to move all of that into another dividend position, which I really like SPHG as a good dividend paying position, ETF. And yeah, I look into a lot of different positions, but I will cover long-term moves as well. I heard people say yesterday crypto runs up, turns into some losses today. Yeah, I mean, crypto did run up. And anytime you see something go up, you're going to see it come back down. So people invested somewhere at the peak thinking that, you know, it was going to continue to move up, but it didn't. It stopped. And I invested in some before the move, and I'm going to invest in more after this dip. And if we have more of a dip, I'm going to buy more. Do you recommend the Fidelity credit card? Yes, I have it. I do like it because it's basically to where it's like you take that 2% and that's added into your account, and you can use that for your investments. You can easily fund your investments just by your long-term investments just by doing that, depending how much money you spend on your cards every month. They mentioned Doge also. Yeah, Doge is going to be big there. What's the difference between short interest and shares on loan? So shares on loan, one, the short interest is the amount of shorts that are out there, but shares on loan include a lot of other things. You can loan out shares to people for a multitude of things. So it's not just shorts that go into there. But majority that we're seeing with AMC is obviously the short position that's being taken out. Matt, football season is starting soon. How does it feel that the Saints are already eliminated from the playoffs? Shut the hell up. That's not, um, let's leave that where it is. That's funny. Love the action yesterday with AMC. Excited for the rest of the week. So am I. I'm really excited. I hope we don't see more of this downward movement that we're seeing here, creating lower highs and lower lows. That does suck. We were creating higher highs and higher lows. And now we're starting to pull back down from 41. It looks like 41 might be a resistance point. So we'll definitely look at that and see what's happening there. 1K floor. I do believe 1K to 2K is the floor. Vortex is only 85% of the whole picture. Basically, it's the floor. The number the number is always higher. See, I don't even think that's the case. Yes, it's only 85% of the picture, but I still do believe that there's some of the picture that's being hidden from us. Whether we're looking at the total data or whatever, it's just there's some portion that's being hidden from us, because there's a ton of shorts that are going out every single day and it doesn't add up. If we're seeing 20 million or 50 million shorts and they're only borrowing or returning 6 million or 2 million shares, then it does not make sense to me how we couldn't see higher, short interest. You know what I mean? Which getting those things confused, short interest and the actual shorted shares. I guess that's the way you consider it is short. The way that I look at it is like how much you're paying on those shorts, which I believe is cost to borrow. But the short interest that you look at on Ortex is the percentage of shorts that they own. So it's always different. Some people get that, mixed up. How can make Bitcoin if I make... Wait for it. What? Speaking of shorts, red candle. Yeah, I'm gonna skip some. Sorry, Matt. Get yourself. Hope it's loading. It will instantly take away that sore throat. I've been using it for years. Yeah, it's not even a sore throat. I have a dry throat because I sleep with a fan directly in my face. For some reason, it's like 1,000 degrees upstairs, but it's like 5 degrees in the basement. I got my Coinbase card yesterday. Coinbase card? I didn't even know they had a card. Oh, they borrowed 600,000 shares. Probably the reason for that red candle. Yeah, I mean, they borrow shares and then short later. So what we're seeing with, they know that 801 is coming. You see this movement with 801. It went all the way up to $40.94. That's the high point of this pre-market here. And then dropped all the way back down. But you're seeing 99,000 shares worth of volume. So it's not bad. Hey man, why do you think 1,000 is the floor? Thinks 1,000 is unrealistic. So some people will say 1,000 is unrealistic based on the fundamentals. So they'll apply it to fundamentals in most cases, and they'll say it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But if you're holding 80% of the stock, just look at something like Amazon. It's all based on buyers and sellers, right? People hold a ton of Amazon for a long time, right? The long term. They're holding probably somewhere around, let's say 65 to 70%. You have a lot of people that are consistently holding and buying and, looking for this to increase as much as possible for Amazon, right? We're holding 80% of AMC. The more that we're holding, the more that there's a demand for people to buy the stock, or if anybody wants to buy it, then it's going to be difficult for them to buy it. So the price should jump up. But with the amount of shorts that are out there, it's bringing this price down. Right now, we've seen a ton of places where it said the real price is around $1,000 or $1,500 or wherever it's at. $5,000 we've seen $3,000. And that's just showing the amount of shares that we're holding versus, or compared to the float, right? Right? If we're holding 80%, that's huge. Supply and demand rules really kick in. If you hold most of the supply, then and there's a demand for that, the price continues to skyrocket. So the fact that they're holding so many shorts and they have a demand for this, they need to buy back those shares. They need to do that. It's going to raise that price up. So there's definitely a look to this to say that $1,000 is the floor. And if we start to sell, that's where $1,000 starts to, fall back down. So we start to see the floor go to $500 and $200. If we start to get rid of everything that we're holding, then that's what happens. But they know that this will skyrocket to an unlimited amount. Ridiculous amounts. If they chose to let go right now, every share that they end up covering, it's basically like double the movement because we're holding 80%. They're buying it. And then they're also getting rid of their shorts. It's like a triple move. So instead of the price, let's say, increasing by $1 or increasing by $10, it increases by $30. So it's going to be pretty damn big when you see that. And it's all compared to fundamentals. They always bring it to fundamentals. And I hate that because it's not a fundamental play at this point. It's just a momentum play that we're calling out, and eventually it'll be a fundamental play once we see it get to reasonable numbers. AMC to 200 today. Eagles in the Super Bowl, I'm calling it. I don't know about that. I have 200 invested in Bitcoin and over 1,000 invested in Dogecoin. That's awesome. I'm glad there's no Cowboys fans in here. Well, I know a couple of Cowboys fans. Yeah, they have the one that just came out. Robinhood has a card also. I have that one as well. I'll have to look into it. Is it a credit card or debit card? I guess it's a credit card. They don't really have it's a credit card probably. I got my Coinbase card 2 weeks ago. I'll have to look into it. Would you call yourself a swinger? No, I wouldn't. Call myself a trader. Well, I guess that's just weird to say. Because you could be a trader as in you're trading stocks or trader as in you're going against any type of movement. But I'm a trader as in stocks. Coinbase gives 4% back in USD coin and can for every purchase. I'll have to look into that because I haven't done a credit card review in so long. And someone ran into me and was like, "Look, I watch your videos, and I've watched your videos since the credit card reviews, and it made me think like, look, I should be doing some of those credit card reviews as well. This is a personal finance channel, not just an investing channel. I love to invest, but I also like to talk about a lot of these things that I do get into, like credit cards. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, that's something that I will check out. Oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry guys, if that was loud. Just jumping on any news. Do you like or know of BBI? I don't know of the position. Are you looking at this as like a long-term or a short-term play? Is it just a momentum play for you? Right now it's up about 0.29%. It was up 5% yesterday. It does have pretty decent swings, and looks like it may have settled somewhere around this area, seeing like 4 touch points there. And now you could actually see that bounce up to, $4.50, $5, $6. You can actually see that increase there. So that looks pretty interesting. I would like to see it drop down to these levels again before you can make that move, and then you can invest whatever you want, maybe 1,000 shares, whatever you're looking at, 1,000, 2,000 shares, and then see this increase. But it does look like a good swing position, especially where it's at $3.43. You could definitely see that make a decent move here. If it retests some of these areas, it's always good. But I don't know about the position for the first time looking at it. There's a lot of positions that have a ton of potential based on the chart movement, and anybody that sees any of those potential moves, let me know. We can always call those out, create a watch list, and all of that. What up? Just jumping on any news. Oh, I just read that. There's no news right now. Just good movement. It was better movement when we seen it up 1.5%, but did come back down just recently from $40.90, $40.94 of a high here. I'm gonna go to members only. It seems like we have mostly members that are just chatting, but I go to members only just to answer more questions because it seems like I'm getting behind. No way shorts cover before 1K with FOMO buying. I think it's going to be up to 500, maybe 600 of FOMO buying, and then you're going to see people that don't really want to buy as much, and you're going to have hedge funds that start to cover. So hopefully when people see that, they don't get scared, because when people see higher numbers, what they do is you'll see it get up to 600 and say, all right, well, we're going to see this increase a crazy amount. But if it doesn't and it pulls back, they're letting go of all their position. And that's not the way you do it. If you are going to let go of something, let go of just a portion at that point, because it does give you the ability to buy back in at those portions. And if it does go lower and lower and lower, find a great point to where you can buy back in with those maybe 20 shares or whatever, and see that rapidly increase. You know what I mean? Because if you just literally, if it gets to $500, right, and you know that they're going to pull it back to $100, you literally took 20 shares at $500, which is going to be $10,000. Yeah, it's going to be $10,000. So you can put $10,000 in at $100, which would give you a lot more shares. And then you can ride that up and also have the money that you're still in there, knowing that it's going to increase. Now, if you wanted to do it at 100 shares, you can do that as well. But what this gives you, and if they end up doing that, this gives a lot of people an opportunity to have more shares and also maybe pocket some of their initial investment. Any place that you pull money from, you always want to keep track of those, because what you can say is like, if I see it at $100 and you pull out 20 shares, okay, you pulled out 20 shares. Now, if it goes below $100, you know that you had 20 shares below $100. So then you're going to take that and maybe put that back in at the lower point. And then you'll have either more shares or just have the same amount of shares for less money. And then also be able to pocket whatever the difference was. And then if it goes to 200, 300, 500, if it somehow skyrockets to 1,000 right away, then you know that whatever you end up pulling out, you can always invest back in at a lower point if they do pull it back. Now, once they start to cover, I don't believe there's going to be any type of pullbacks. There might be some consolidation, but I don't think there will be full pullbacks. So when it gets to $1,000 and they start to really cover, and it gets to, it gets to $500, they start to really cover. It gets to $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever it gets to. I don't think there's going to be pullbacks. I think it's just going to be consolidation. As long as people hold on to a majority of their shares, we should be fine. As Cowboys fans are here. Can you explain swing trading? So yeah, swing trading, what you typically do with swing trading is there's a difference between day trading and swing trading. So let's break down day trading. Day trading is where you actually hold the position intraday. So you're not looking to, sell overnight. So what you will do is you will buy into a position in a day, and before the end of that day, no matter if it's a losing or winning position, you get out of that position. A lot of times the reason why you do that is because of the after hours market. After hours market can be tricky, can go against you, can do horrible things or really, really good things. You never really know. But swing trading is where you do hold overnight, looking for that massive growth. So for something like, say, I know Ride hasn't really pulled through for anything, but if you look at something like Ride, let's break this down a little bit more. You look at something like Ride, you can say, oh, you know what, this has a squeeze or a swing trade potential. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy into a position on one day, hold overnight, whether that's 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 2 months, whatever it is. You're holding for a longer period of time, but it's less than a year. So you're basically going to like buy into here. And then when it gets to a certain level, you end up buying or you end up selling at some of these levels. So it gets up to $30. You sell at some of these levels. Basically, the difference between day trading and swing trading is swing trading, you're holding overnight. Day trading, you do not hold overnight. If you hold day trading overnight, you are not doing it the right way. But yeah, that's the difference there. And what you really want to use is different indicators when it comes to both of those. I like to use basically the same indicators that work for me for swing trading and day trading, but obviously both of them have different looks to them. If it has potential to grow over a long period of time, then that's a swing trade potential. If it looks like it moves a lot in a day, that's a day trade potential. So post squeeze, AMC will be a great day trading stock. GME will be a great day trading stock, but not now. Coming back for a week vacation. How are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for stopping by. I mean, we're all doing great. We would do a lot better if AMC was really making a move, but yeah, credit card reviews would be awesome. I recently started using one. I got 51K flight miles. Just have to be disciplined to send money aside to pay it off each month. Yeah, I mean, you should only, for credit cards, you should only be using what you spend in a normal month. So I like credit cards that give you normal spending categories. So something like, grocery shopping or internet and cable, all of those different bills that you pay on a normal basis that you can just put on a credit card and then just pay it off like you normally do. And then you can actually have all of your bills come out at one time rather than having, all of your bills, split through the month. That's typically what I will do. But there's a lot of bills now that I pay that I can't pay with a credit card. So it's a little bit tough. But most of my my bills come out on my credit cards at a period of time in a month. Best thing about AMC, she looks sexy in green or red. Yeah, you're right. I was pissed yesterday because I had a I wanted to start like maybe a thing of like unorthodox investings or investments or whatever. And if you don't know, from people that have watched some of my streams, I invest in Funko Pops. Marvel Funko Pops. I'm a huge Marvel fan, so I invest in a lot of them just to hold on to those for the long haul and see those grow in value, sort of like I don't know, a GI Joe doll or whatever that is, action figure. Um, but I went on eBay yesterday and I was going to bid on this Loki Funko Pop that only has, I think it's like if it's worth like $600 or something like that, and I was going to pay somewhere around 500 for it because obviously it's going to grow in value. But it got to a point to where I literally set my max bid, and eBay does this stupid thing to where it doesn't reset the time. And it got to the last bid and it said that I won at the end. But then when it got to the final page, it said, you missed out on this. The total bid was 510. I was like, why didn't you give me a chance to say anything? I could have easily bid more. I'm good. Kind of disappointed and it's slightly jacked. But I'm making it. That's interesting. AMC is screen is making moves for me. Yeah. Squeeze already. I need that part of my brain back. No, it didn't squeeze already. I keep saying invest in Dixon. So much space in between. Cider. Making moves. Yeah. I need so much space in between those two words. Oh, you were telling it to squeeze. Yes, we need it to squeeze. I need to put on my watch. I'm golfing today, so should be good. I think I'm gonna golf well. Yesterday I was hitting in the simulator. I bought a new computer. I can't build my computer because I can't get all the parts for it. I wanted to build a new computer for down here, but I just bought a gaming computer for up in the simulator. So I was hitting balls yesterday, and it felt really good. I don't know if you take that out of context, it just sounds weird. But I was hitting golf balls yesterday, and felt like my swing was good. I'll probably do that somewhere over lunch today. I usually work out during lunch. I think I'm gonna work out and then come back and just hit like a couple of balls. I've heard the idea that could happen would be a controlled event where the hedgies are in control to avoid 2008 thoughts. So this is where it's a little bit tricky. Is if they end up doing this, this could be to a situation where it ends up being worse than we think. A controlled squeeze, no matter what, if they end up paying off that debt to where the hedge fund doesn't really have to do anything, doesn't really have to worry about anything, and doesn't have to worry about taking out their call positions. But then we see the other side, the squeeze side, end up getting covered. No matter what, we're going to see this increase, right? We're going to see it increase by a heck of a lot. But in any single situation, I have never seen a situation to where a billionaire, millionaire, hedge fund, business has turned down an opportunity to take free money and double or triple or quadruple down on the fact that they're right. So do I think they're going to take this money and cover what they have to cover? No, because the positions are going to stay with them, right? If they're covering that position, everything that they did ends up staying with them, right? But the issue that I'm having with that is that I don't believe they're going to use that to cover their shares. They're just going to double and triple down and make us think that they've done that, but they haven't. and it's going to look like it's a squeeze getting up to, $500, $1,000 or whatever. But this just tells you that this could be a lot higher than what people think. $1,000 could be the floor for what we're seeing here, but seeing what they're willing to do in order to get away from any situation like that happening could mean that the floor is a lot higher. And we're setting ourselves for a lower floor, but either way, you're setting yourself up for life-changing money if it's a lower floor or a higher floor, whatever it actually is. Just know that no matter what, if the shares are covered, the price goes up. So whether it's a controlled squeeze and which I don't really believe in, it would make no sense for them to do that because they're gonna double down. Yay. Yes, sure. I've worked 12-hour night shifts for 9 years, and now I need AMC to do its thing so I can pay off my house and be debt free and go find a day shift job where I can be with my kids more. Yeah, that sounds like an amazing plan. Hey, maybe if you get comfortable enough, you start reading books, you can get into day trading. Because if you have enough money and you actually are comfortable, I would say take 30,000, put that into day trading and let that, and then just work through that. But obviously, make sure you have practice. Don't just risk everything. And you have to make sure you only risk the smallest amounts. And if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Just accept that you're wrong. I built PCs before, but I have never built a laptop. I want to. Matt, have you ever built a laptop before? It is similar. I have not built a laptop. It sounds interesting, but I already have a really strong laptop. It makes no sense for me to build a laptop. But what I want to build is a desk computer. One of those the computers that have like the I don't know if it's plexiglass or whatever here, and then you could see everything in your computer in your desk. Those things are amazing. That's what I want to build. But it's expensive, which, I mean, it's not like I can't afford it. It's expensive, but it's also like it takes time to get all of the different like things that you need. Like if you're a tech channel, I've seen plenty of tech channels do this. If you're a tech channel, then you can easily get that just by, talking to a brand and say, hey, I get 30,000, 50,000 views per video. I'm ready to use this product and review this product or whatever, and you get a free product out of it. I feel that I needed to squeeze after having surgery. I have bills. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty horrible. Sorry that you're going through that, but hopefully we see that squeeze soon. It looks like they're just trying to hold off on this. I have some call options that I'll continue to, put out different call options for. I hope by December we see this break over 200 because that would be amazing. Because I do have my call option for December of 145. And I'm probably going to get more for, like 2022. Should be deductible like my new recliner. Ja, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. I told my girl if I ever make millions in the stock market and we are set for life, she can definitely drop to part-time at her job. Yeah, I think what you always need to do is understand what you will do with that money and how that money will make money for you. So if you ever make millions in the stock market, right? If this is the play to where you end up making those millions and they don't restrict trading and we actually do come out on top here, which I know they don't want us to come out on top, because the more people that make a ton of money, the less money that they have, really, right? So what you need to do is understand how that money will make money for you, whether you put it into an index fund, put a majority into retirement and let that grow, because you're not just going to take millions of dollars and spend it right away. You also don't want to take millions of dollars and just put it into a bank account. You want to take millions of dollars and spread it. put it into crypto, where you can make money long term, into all cryptos, every single one that you believe will increase, put it into there, let it grow, let it be something a lot bigger than what you think. Then you can take some money, put it into your Roth IRA, basically have a bunch that will set aside for, retirement, for, maybe an index fund where you can gain 10 to whatever percent. So say you have $1 million in there, or say you have $1 million in there, you'll gain 10% every single year, which will be really good. You can gain $100,000 every year. And that's just from letting your money make you money. And yes, you'll have to pay, taxes on that money that you do take out of it. But either way, you're gaining money every single year. And that money is making you money. You never really have to work again. You can find a way to, not only have that money make you money, but also, other forms of passive income where that don't include you spending money or the money sitting somewhere. So you said that was a joke? Wait, you're not going to? If you ever make millions in the stock market, I don't get the joke. But either way, I mean, if you're a person that's making millions of dollars here, you can make your money work for you. So the point of that statement, even if it was a joke and I don't really get the joke out of it, you basically can have that money work for you and you don't really have to work again. I know that I will continue to work. I'm just a workaholic. If I don't, I mean, it may be different. So if it gets to a point to where I make $9 million or $10 million or whatever out of my whole strategy, then yeah, I won't be working anymore, because the $1 million that I can put into an index fund will make money for me, and I'm fine with that. And then everything else will go into different areas, and it will be great. So that's where my life will be and what I plan to do with it, if it does get to that point. But majority of it, I won't even look at right from the start. I'm not even worried about it at all. So we'll see how this all plays out. It should be deductible. I just read that. Not a whole lot to build one. High price right now for GPUs. They're making a markup 200, 400 over MSRP. Yeah, I've seen that. They're ridiculous. I wanted to buy a new GPU. I wanted to buy a lot of different things for a brand new computer and actually sell this one to somebody. But no, I can't do it right now, because the prices are ridiculous and it's hard to find no matter what. I'm getting taxed for what I earned sitting in this chair. The chair is getting deducted. Yeah, I mean, my office gets deducted. As long as you have a business, put in just every year. Thank you guys for being here. We got 463 people in here. I appreciate you guys. That's I think the highest. No, we had that much yesterday. We had some good concurrent viewers. Obviously not to the level that we were, but I appreciate you guys being here and conversing with me, going back and forth. We are seeing AMC that is down. AMC that's down 0.02%, has decreased quite a bit from where it hit its high at $40.94. I'm thinking that we might end up seeing, yesterday I was right about the drop and the resistance point. Wasn't right about the second resistance, because I thought we would end up stair stepping on the way up. We would resist $40 multiple times yesterday, and that we would have went up to 42. That was my call, and that we would have closed at around 41. Now we closed at $40.29. I guess that's close enough, but still, I didn't get that second resistance point, so I wasn't completely right. When I look at this day, I would say that typically you see a pullback to a little bit lower number. So I think 39 is going to be the mark. I don't know if it's going to break below 39. It looks like we might see a positive day today, another one, and I hope that's true. But then again, the pre-market doesn't really tell you kind of jack shit here. So yeah, I'm thinking we might see 39, end up increasing a V-shaped recovery back to 40, resisting at 40, 41, maybe 42. Yeah, you know what? We're going to resist at 42. It's going to break past 41 very easily, might I add. And then we're going to see a resistance at 42. Can you put your brother on the show just to spice it up some? Or just let him run the show for a day to see what happens? He doesn't know about stocks. Like, he doesn't really know about stocks and investing and all of that stuff. I want to teach him. He said he wants to learn. So yeah, I can definitely do that. I want to do like more interviews with like people just to see if they're investing in the stock market and talk about like their finances in person. That would be amazing to go through that and talk about their finances and what they're investing in and where their money is actually going, whether it's all going to a 401k or they contributing a max amount to this 401k rather than doing something themselves, because they should be contributing, to a 401k. It's always great to have that safe side of your business, right? Because the company that you're with, but you also should have something on the side to where you can gain maybe 10, 20. Like right now, my Roth IRA is up about 18%, which is higher than what my 401k is. But then if I look at my mutual fund, if I look at the Fidelity fund that's in there, it's up about 27%. So if that's up 27%, then that means if everything was in that mutual fund, it would, if everything was in that fund, it would be, 29% gain, 27% gain. Are we talking about stocks or stonks? Talking about both. What's the first sign of AMC squeezing we should be looking for when it happens? So first, every time we see it increase a massive amount, the first thing we're looking for is we're looking at the Ortex data. We're also looking at a lot of the short interest data. We're looking at the amount of shorted shares that are out there per day. We're also looking at if they're covering or anything like that, because a lot of times when we see it increase, it's based on FOMO buying. And the FOMO buying doesn't mean that the squeeze is actually happening. We want to see them covering a massive amount of shorts. The only thing is we won't be able to see what they cover in the background, right? We'll see that they covered it here, but we won't see like the number of shorts that are out there, the full number of shorts decrease. We'll see the number of shorts that we see in front of our face, which is 76 million, but really the number of shorts that are out there is, let's say, 500 million, right? Is Ortex usable on the phone? Actually, I've never tried. I should probably check that out. So I don't know the answer to that. Or don't teach your brother stocks, put him on the show for an hour. What could go wrong? Complete chaos. Maybe like, hey, what do you think about this position? It's great. Sorry. I just hit the mic. There's a gnat in here or something. It's the one. It's always here and I can't get it. I've tried to get it multiple times. Yesterday I tried to get it and I couldn't get it. So it's just one that's around here, and it either hovers over there by the cats or over here. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. But yes, a lot can go wrong. I'm sure he can probably manage. He'll probably just say like, yeah, it looks great. This looks like a great position. And he also wouldn't know where to go on Webull. So I would have to show him everything. I do want to teach him a lot though, because I was telling him about cryptocurrency and how he should get into cryptocurrency and putting some money aside. He puts money into a bank account or a savings account. I'm like, you shouldn't put money into a savings account. Just put it into somewhere where it can grow a lot more. I'll be shaking my stonkadonk. Stonkadonk when we squeeze. If they stop trading, will we have a a recourse action, a lawsuit, and which do you see be more viable, AMC or GME? Valuable. Okay, sorry. Which one do I see as more valuable? I would say AMC at a lower price is something to where you can see the FOMO buying go up a lot more. GME it definitely has the potential to increase a lot, but I don't think there's as many people holding GME as there is AMC. Why? Because the stock price is a little bit higher and it's been settling around those levels. So people have come to terms with where it is, even though that's not even close to where it's going to be. So I do think GME has a lot of potential when it comes to the amount of shares that are out there, because the less shares that you have, the more that you can move if you are holding a massive amount. So that's always a good thing. However, AMC, we already are holding a massive amount. They're shorting this thing down to levels to where it's not sustainable for them. So we're going to see this definitely take off. And I think AMC is a lot more of a potential. Do I think they're going to stop trading? I do. I do think they're gonna stop selling and buying at certain levels, and it's only going to be available to people that don't have, that have separate platforms, that have their own brokers, all of those people, which are the people that have a lot of money. And you're going to see those start to come off. So at the peak point, wherever this ends up being, which I think where I'm planning on making huge moves from, it doesn't really matter what happens there, because the peak point, I seriously think could be 50 to 100K based on how scared they are, to put out different things, basically saying, look, we need to control this squeeze, because a squeeze to $1,000 or $10,000 is not something where it's like, oh, well, you know what, you need to control it. It's just a squeeze. It goes to $10,000. Oh, well. But a squeeze to, 50 or 100K, maybe even higher than that, I don't know, makes people start to think, oh, well, you know what, this could be real, and that's exactly what they're looking like. So I'm thinking that AMC could be a lot bigger, but GME is definitely a squeeze as well, a huge squeeze. That's my thought. What are the numbers that you wait to see? Say today could be the squeeze. Say today could be the squeeze. What numbers am I looking for right now? Am I waiting to see? If today is the squeeze, right? Then we skip the whole step, because we skipped the whole step of FOMO buying. We've had FOMO buying and they've pulled us back with a lot of shorts. But we haven't had the level of FOMO buying that we need to start this squeeze. The level of FOMO buying is billions of shares. When we start to see that and it starts to really make moves, that's where it starts to get crazy. And we have seen billions of shares within a couple of days. So we just need to continue to see billions of shares as days go on. And people don't let up no matter how much they're shorting. But people let up when you start to see a negative day. When people see a negative day, that's what happens. So if it squeezed today, we skipped the whole step. But if it, let's say it was $500 and it started to squeeze today, the numbers that I'm looking for is I'm looking in Ortex, and I'm looking at some of this data here just to see what's going on there. I'm also looking at a lot of the order books on Webull to see how much buying is going through at what levels. If there's maybe a lot that's going through at certain levels, maybe they're looking to cover at 40, and you see 30,000 shares that's going through at 30. You see however many thousand shares. You're going to see a lot of buying that's going through, but it's not actually buying. It's more or less them covering. So I'm looking at multiple places. The only thing is that Ortex is not going to update. I don't know how fast it updates, because I'm not sure if it updates like every 5 minutes or whatever. But I'm looking at a lot of these numbers to basically get some of that data. So once you see it start to really increase, you know that they're really covering at those points. The giant green candle, after candle, 1 minute equals launchpad. Morning usuals and everyone else. Are you joining Fantasy Football League this year? I am joining a Fantasy Football League. I have one that I've been playing for a while. We have one I've won that also, and it's hella aggressive. Yeah, I don't understand why it's always attracted. Like it goes to the light and then comes right back to me. It goes to the light, comes right back to me. So it's probably the lights that I have up. That's why it's right here, but whatever. Um, Noel, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. That means a lot. It means the world to me, especially since viewers are low. You know, I appreciate your support in any way. Is Carl going to get a new car tree after the squeeze? I don't know what that is. Yes, you can use Vortex on your phone. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Is there? I did look if there was an app. I don't think there's an app. I think after the squeeze, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and call it "Losing Money with." Perfect. You'd be surprised how many people would actually be a part of that. Let me know. I can walk you through, creating a YouTube channel. Obviously, my views have depleted a little bit. Even my video views have gone down a little bit. And maybe I should get back into breaking things down a little bit more and actually editing my videos, but we'll see. I can see a new username, Matt's Nats, coming soon. That's funny. Easy Array, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thoughts on LCID? I did talk about this yesterday. Someone asked me if it was a long-term position. I mean, I mainly see a lot of things as a swing trade that doesn't have a dividend on it, and I don't believe this does. No, it does not. So we're seeing it at 1% up. It was up 10% yesterday. That's amazing to see that. It grew from a level of $24 and all the way up to $28. It's definitely a swing trade potential with a lot of activity that's going into this position. I see it as a full swing trade. It's not something where I look at it. You can look at it as a long-term potential if you want to, but I don't see it like that if it does not have a dividend, right? So for me, all of this movement here from 25 up to 27, huge swing trade or day trade potential that you can easily grow from $25 to $27 or $25 to $28 or whatever, especially with all of the activity. There's so many people that are looking to consistently get into positions like these or this position in general. So my thoughts on it is that it's a great swing trade. It's a great day trade. Just find the right move, find these low points, find a point to where it's getting oversold at a certain point, and then see some sort of an increase. If you see a little bit of an increase and you gain something out of it, let's say from $26 to $27, that's an easy dollar gain. That's $100 if you have 100 shares. That's $1,000 if you have 1,000 shares. If you see gains like these, which are definitely tougher to see, gains like these, see that go up, see that decrease. You want to be able to predict that crossover, which is very tough because by the time you predicted that on the MACD, you would see that this is the point to where you would see that crossover, and then you would gain maybe from 25 up to 28, so about $3 or so. But it looks like a good position for a day trade or swing trade. That would be my opinion. Guys, we have 448 people in here. Hit the like button. It does help out the channel. I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel where I stream your channel, but have a nodding cat meme playing and name him Carl. If you want to, all you have to do is just put my actual stream, my actual channel down below. You can do whatever you want. There's other channels out there like that Trey's Clips channel. That's not actually Trey's Clips channel. It's somebody else's channel. Quick question: would it be better for my credit to continue making my car payment or pay it off after the squeeze? How many years have you been making your car payment? It depends. So a lot of times I would say it's better to continue making the car payment, but in most cases I would just say pay it off. But we have to see how many years you've been paying it. If you've been paying it for 2 years or a year and a half, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't hurt you to get rid of that. The the better situation that you would have is a credit card that would be the length of your history. No matter what, it's gonna go in 3 years, which will adjust, your age of credit. But it's not something that's a high impact to your score. And if you do have credit cards that supersede that surpass that in a large way, then it does not matter if you pay it off. So just let me know how long you've been paying that for. If it's over a year, then yeah, pay it off. Because what you lose in the small amount in credit, you gain in your interest back. So you'll be fine. Government limit squeezes put a large volume in sales like 1 million and exchange in a dark pool where it wouldn't affect the price action. Huh. Payment history is a big part of your score. So payment is the best. Payment history is a big part of your score, but it's not payment history. It's payment history, which is the amount or the percentage that you actually pay. It's not about the history of that payment. The actual history or the age of credit is only a 15% portion of your score. So if you're saving thousands of dollars of interest, you're doing a lot more for your credit than you think. The reason why they say that you have to keep that payment for a long period of time is because they want you to pay the interest. If you have it over a year, it's not going to affect your score in any way. If it's something where it's like 6 months or 3 months, then you want to continue to pay that for at least a year so that your age of credit stays over a year. Because if it's under a year, that's where it ends up being a horrible situation. I hate when people say, I'm not saying hate. I don't like to say hate, but I dislike when people say that the age of credit is a big portion of your score and that you shouldn't pay off a credit card you shouldn't pay off a loan or anything like that. You should make the payments. No, that's what they want to push in your put in your head so that you pay that interest, because a lot of times what they'll do is they'll push that on people that are paying 20% interest, and they'll basically say, oh, you want to pay this for as long as possible. Well, that's because they want to gain 20% interest the whole entire time. So if you pay it off early, you're not paying 20% interest. You're paying a lot less. It's just like if you pay, would you recommend paying your mortgage for the full year that it is? No, they always recommend that you try and pay it off early. If you pay off the first 15 years of your mortgage, you're cutting your interest significantly. If you look at the amount of interest that you're paying in the beginning and the amount of interest that you're paying at the end of it, you're paying basically pennies of interest at the end of it, and you're paying mostly principal. So if you pay off the first 15 years of your mortgage, basically, you're going to be able to limit the amount of interest that you're actually paying. If you pay as little as $100 more every single month on your mortgage, you're going to be cutting that interest by a lot. For me, my interest on my home would have been 75% of my cost of the house. So instead of me paying $200,000+, I'm paying $375,000, something like that, for the total life of that loan. And it sucks. So limit the interest. Who cares about the 15% of age of credit? That will come back. Anyways, that's my little spiel for credit. I love credit, by the way. Becoming quite a closer little community in this chat every morning. Talk to y'all more than my coworkers. My first super chat. I hope it continues. Yeah, I will try and keep this going. It seems like the concurrent viewers are up. People have super chatted, so I appreciate you guys. Typically I'll make around, let's say, $100 to $200 during a stream, and that's really good. So if I can get $20 or $50 in super chats, if the views are down, then that makes up for what it typically gets to. So views are a little bit up. I gotten a few super chats today, so I appreciate you guys. You guys really come through every time. I want to continue doing this. I don't want to make it seem like it's a waste of time in any way. It's just something where I'm like, I need it to be like worthwhile, especially with the fact that I have literally no time in a day. If you see my schedule in a day, it's crazy. Like I don't let up, and I try and spend as much time with my kids as possible. So you know that having kids, they're always around, and if you have daycare, it makes it easier. But I have a 9 to 5. I have 4 YouTube channels, 3 that I actively post to. The 4th one, I want to be able to post more podcasts, so that's going to be coming soon. But 4 YouTube channels. I spend a lot of time with the kids. I try and answer as many comments as possible. I stream during the day, and it's just a lot. But it's fun. It's fun for me. You can increase your views if you go skydiving with me. I don't think I'll ever do that. Every YouTube has at least 10,000 jump cuts. Yeah, seems that way. You're welcome. We appreciate all the hard work you do. Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I keep buying the dips on ADA, and I'm barely up $40 out of 700. Don't worry. ADA, I believe, will end up making that move. So I have about $700. I invested actually in the beginning closer to $2. So I put more in at these lows. Like I bought, I think it was like 200 more, or it might have been 200 more. Basically got it to 500 ADA, and I want to add 500 more ADA. So we'll see how that plays out. But in the long run, I do believe this is going to be big. So I would love to hold about 5,000 to 10,000 ADA as a whole, and then see that increase, basically like tenfold, or, up to $30 of a price. And I think that's the max that it can get to, is around $30. Just comparing it to Bitcoin's market cap. When will the squeeze can happen according to you? Next month, December? When will the squeeze happen according to me? Will it happen in next month? Will it happen in December? Well, we need to see the FOMO buying first. I think it's not really predictable when the squeeze actually will happen. We know that it can happen at any time, and that's where the unknown is. I love seeing that. And knowing that it can happen at any time, knowing that I would love to be able to predict it, but it's so tough to be able to predict. But I would say I'm looking for at least the FOMO buying to happen before the end of the year. The squeeze maybe to happen in the beginning of next year, but I'm looking to have the FOMO buying portion, at least a big portion of that, getting up to $200, happen by the end of the year. This is why I have my December calls for 145. Because I believe we'll get to that point at some point. I know big viewer numbers. I know big viewer numbers and cool. But I'm very glad to see so much consistency with all of us. Yeah, I am too. I appreciate you guys for being here, and all the members. This is why I do the members only, to show the people that really support, really want to ask the right questions and get their questions answered. When will the squeeze? I just read that. 1 minute, baby candles. Boom, boom. More like bing, bing. So rich people pay interest, though. Rich people. So it depends what the interest is. So if you look at a lot of people that have, let me bring up AMC again. If you look at a lot of people that have a ton of money, when they take out a loan, they're looking for the lowest amount of interest. They're gaining, but they're taking out larger loans. So they're looking for 1% interest on a loan that they have that's like $500,000 or $1 million, right? And then they're actually paying that off early, so they don't pay that 1%. Most likely they're paying more to that, so they don't pay as much in interest. If you wanted to pay more to it, so you're not paying as much in interest, but for the most part, if you're worrying about age of credit, That's the least of your worries. Payment history is the biggest portion. If you have too many accounts out there, you end up getting into a situation that I got into with my payment history. I totally forgot about a credit card because I had too many that were out there, too many that I was keeping track of. And actually, it was something to where I didn't look at it because, and I'm not blaming it on Erica, but she used the wrong credit card. And when she used that credit card, I didn't get sight. I didn't have sight to that credit card or, any type of look on that credit card. So when that happened, I didn't see that, didn't get a notification. I got something in my email, but I guess I missed it. So it was my fault that I missed it, but it was something where I missed my payment and now I don't get that payment history back. I can never get back to 100%. That is the problem. That is an issue. Age of credit, no one cares about that. I mean, people do care about it, but if you have over a year, you're fine. What's going on with my chat? It's not going down. Thank you, Julius, for that super chat or super sticker. I appreciate it. Keep it up. That's my friendly reminder to work out. Get a Happy Meal today for your birthday. Happy birthday. You're funny. I did chest yesterday. My chest is hurting. I've only been paying on it since March of 2020. So that's about a year. If you've been paying on it since March of 2020, 4% interest, I would just pay it off. The reason why is because it's been over a year, and by the time this actually happens, it's going to be probably somewhere around 2 years. I don't know how long your loan is for, but if it's a 5-year loan or 6-year loan, whatever it is, I would probably just pay it off and not pay the interest, because the interest that you're saving is going to be big. Now you could pay extra towards it if you want to pay less interest if you don't want to just get rid of that completely. And it also depends, how long do you believe you can keep that car for? Do you believe that you want to resell it? If you want to resell it, then it's a different story. But I would say there's two options: pay a little bit more to your loan every month, or pay it off completely. Because if you're losing 4% there, then you can't gain 4%. Like, you have to gain more than 4% in the stock market, which you will gain more than 4% in the stock market if you're consistent. It's just very difficult to gain it overall because you have a bearish market, you have a bullish market. If you lose, 20%, or you lose, let's say you lose 1% of your gains out of that bear market, and you were actually really disciplined, but then you gain 9% overall, or you triple or quadruple your money. I mean, you're limiting your losses and maximizing your gains there. But if you're paying 4% in interest, you got to take 4% off the top of that money that you made. So every single bit of debt that you have that you're paying interest on, you're taking that off of the top of the amount of money that you gain in the stock market or anywhere else. So if you have money that's sitting in a 401k, Roth IRA, in an index fund or whatever, you have to take 4% off of that. And I understand that, it could be different with the amount that you're actually making. But if you're making 4% on the top of your total money, you have to bring that into your calculation. Or sorry, you're making 20% or whatever, and you have a loan out here that's taking out 4%, right? Now you need to factor that into your calculation where you're actually bringing that percentage that you gain down. Anything you're paying in interest is never really the best thing possible. I've always been told use my credit card and pay it off 100% as soon as it's available to be paid. Yes, unless it's 0% interest, but you need to be careful with that, because some people will see a 0% interest credit card and they'll just buy up everything and say, oh, you know what? I don't have to pay interest on this for 12 months. Well, can you pay $100 every single month of the minimum payment, or can you pay X amount of money every single month to pay it off within those 12 months? because sometimes people will get a $10,000 limit, spend $10,000, and now they have to worry about paying off $10,000 in 12 months, which means that they have to basically put hundreds of dollars towards this bill in 12 months. So what I always look at it as, because I have a business, I'll get an interest-free credit card and then basically put it towards a camera, right? This camera here, I don't have to pay interest on that camera. I can pay it off whenever the heck I want. And I know I have the money set aside for it. But while that money is set aside, that money is actually gaining interest. So I'm gaining money on that money while while the bill that I'm paying, I don't have to pay interest on. So gaining 10% on this is actually giving me more of an ability to pay it off within that year. So if that grows by 100%, let's say the camera was $1,000, I put $900 aside, put the first 100 on there. I don't have to pay interest on that. The $900 grows to $1,800. Now I can take the $1,000 and either pay it off, or depending when I get it, I can take the $1,000 and pay off the rest, or $800 or $900 and pay off the rest, and then take the other $900, which I'll have to pay taxes on about half of it, and I'll have a surplus of $400. So you always have that working in your mind. How can you find a way to make, save, spend less money? Hopefully that helps in any way. But I love credit cards, credit, all that stuff. I just don't talk about it as much. Is my car loan still on them? I don't think so. All right. So AMC right now is at $40.40. It's up about 11 cents. It's fluctuating around break even. We're sitting at around 313,000 shares worth of volume today. I think I'm going to go like 10 more minutes because I want to do a 2-hour stream. But then I'm going to be done after that. So about I guess 9 more minutes now. Sorry, late. We going higher today? A little bit higher. I think we're gonna hit up to 42 from what I'm seeing. Yeah, I think we're gonna go up to about 42, break through that level. We're probably gonna see it decrease right from the start, get down to about 39, break that $40 barrier, get down to 39, end up having a V-shaped recovery, just a slight V-shaped recovery, up to about 42, to where it will resist from. It will break past 41 from what I'm understanding, and then it will either consolidate or fall back down a little bit. Hopefully we see some stair stepping on the way up and we have a second breakthrough and it breaks past 42, but I think it will resist at 42. How do you increase your credit score that is already decent? Mine's at 786, but I'd like to get it to the 800s. Why would you like to get it to the 800s? I know a lot of people that say I wanted to get it to 800s, but why? I always ask them why, because it's funny to me to understand like the reasoning. And it's not saying that anybody is stupid in any way or anybody just has the wrong mindset. It's just some people are just misled by perfection, I guess. I heard I got dinged because I paid off my daughter's student loans. Dropped the overall age of credit in history. So that should have never done that. Did you look into the detail of that? Use credit card for gas or groceries, just pay it off. Yeah, honestly, just to flex. So the issue with that is that you have to do everything perfectly if you wanted to do that. So 5% like credit utilization, you're probably going to need age of credit somewhere around 6 to 10 years or something. Payment history 100%, obviously, no derogatory marks. You're going to need everything to be absolutely perfect in order for you to get into the 800s. Erica was in the 800s because she had loans for a while. She has a bunch of credit cards on her score, which is like my credit card. She's an authorized user, so she has those also on her score as well. So she's seeing that on her account, and she's getting the benefit of having all of that credit out there. So you need to have everything perfect, basically. And I would say you can go into Credit Karma and look at how, you know, things have to be really perfect. I don't know if I could show this because, you know, I can't show it. So what you want to do is you want to be able to you want to have low hard inquiries. You want to have the age of credit up to a higher amount. Your payment history has to be, you know, 100%. Credit card utilization has to be 5. You also want your total accounts to be up higher. So for me, I have a high total accounts. Typically, you want to have about 22 accounts. I have a lot more than that, but yeah, you want to have a lot of accounts. And the thing is that with the total accounts, they say that closing accounts does affect your credit score in any way. Yeah, it does affect it a little bit, but the accounts that you had, they do stay on your report. So for me, it says I have 42 accounts, which, you know, 10 of them are closed, but it still counts as an account towards your credit score. $801 score. I bought a cake after. Yes. Was still paying the loan since 2009, and I paid it off in a lump sum, and it was less than a 10-point drop. Yeah. So you're going to see that right away because the loan came off, but you're still going to have a closed account on there. And the issue, I think the reason why it may have dropped is because they may have considered it as, you know, how much open credit you have there. So if you have open credit and you close that credit, basically you don't have access to that loan amount anymore, right? So it's not only about the fact that your age of credit went down, because that's a very small impact to your score. It's about the available credit that you could possibly take out there. So, okay, homie, I'm out. Have a good day. Yeah, you have a good day as well. All right, so we got about 3 minutes to the stream and then we'll be done. City Double Cash plus Discover plus Chase Freedom is a perfect combo. I think you can get some others in there as well, but yeah, City Double Cash is good. I like the Fidelity card because it does the same thing the City Double Cash does. I understand you can transfer that to end up being thank you points, but I think Fidelity card just adds to my investing, and that's why I love it so much. But Discover It is great as well. It's the Chase Freedom Flex now. I don't think they have the Chase Freedom anymore. All right. So guys, make sure you hit the like button on this video. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Consider subscribing. It does help out the channel if you subscribe and you hit the notification bell. Maybe you'll get notified. It seems like people aren't getting notified. Also, you know, check out some of the links in the description if you want to join the Discord group, or if you want to join as a member, definitely do that. If you want to follow some of my other channels, you know, I have other channels that are out there. I have the Matt Reacts channel. If you guys want to follow that, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, and we are now approved. We're not approved for monetization yet, but we're in the process of being approved for monetization. But we've been, you know, making videos here and there about AMC, about different reactions, and, you know, reacting to it. So if you guys want to follow that, definitely follow that. I don't know if you want to follow any of my other channels, the Perry Experience at 5K subs, or the MP Shorts channel, definitely do that. And I don't know when my brother's going to start uploading, but, you know, he can upload soon. I don't know when, but he has 400 subscribers. If you want to go over there, give him a subscribe, watch some of his content, and definitely go ahead and do that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. You mean the world to me. And AMC is currently at $40.31. GME is currently at 182. It's down about 0.67%. Hasn't had a lot of movement there. Dogecoin is up. It looks like crypto is making a positive move today. You're going to see Bitcoin that's up to 38,000. Dogecoin that's up to $20 or 20 cents. That would have been amazing. $20, 20 cents. Ethereum that is up to 2,300. Ethereum Classic $49, and Litecoin is up to 133. And there's a ton of other crypto you can get into. But guys, thank you so much for watching again. I'm going to get out of here. I didn't address anybody on Twitch, but I'm sorry. I will address you in a couple of seconds after I exit the stream from YouTube. But I appreciate you. Have a good day, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.